Back in update number 105, after I did the cut and buff and I finally put the rims and started doing the reassembly, I had shown a picture of the old tire, how it was bulging and some of the wires were starting to show. And I had stated that I'm so glad that I was able to finally get the tires off before the tire exploded. I want you to check this out. After I took the tires off, I didn't throw them away yet because I haven't had a chance to do that, but I stored them on the side, and I want you to see what happened. This is a couple of weeks after taking them off and just, you know, pretty much leaving them for storage until I get a chance to throw them out. So check this out. So here are the tires. Here's one, and you probably can't really notice it, but this tire is starting to get the bulge, so it's starting to fail. But this tire was the one that was failing, and sure enough, it exploded. I don't know when it exploded, but it definitely did explode, and you can see all the wires sticking out of it. And I can imagine if this would have exploded on my freshly painted Nova, that would have been a tragedy, possibly. But I thought it was worth showing that this tire just exploded. It was so bad that it's just gone. So, you know, I said I was glad I took it off before it exploded, and I just said it just to say it. I didn't actually think that the tire was going to explode, but I guess that's the case, and it looked like it exploded violently to be able to open it up this much. So I don't know, but glad I was able to take it off. And this one is next on the list for explosion. You can see the cracks, so it's starting to come apart. So yes, I took off the cowl panel after I had it all perfectly aligned. I hated doing that, but I had to, because I remembered that I didn't install the windshield washer nozzles. So normally they would ride in these channels here, but as you can see, I smoothed out my firewall, and I want to try to hide those hoses. And of course I didn't want the windshield washer squirter nozzles hanging down, ruining my firewall look. I want that to stay smooth. So I was thinking and thinking, and I figured out what I wanted to do. So here's the cowl panel upside down, and here's the windshield washer squirter, and you can see that I basically rebent it to route in this channel here, and there's the other one. And so now all I gotta do is, and I tested it out with some clear hose that I had, when I route it, it fits nicely here. Actually, two of them fits in this channel, which two of them really won't ride over here, but when it gets to here, I will need to have two of them coming out. So when I did the mock-up with this clear tubing, it came out beautiful. So I'm going to put it together now and show you how it looks with the two tubes flowing through. So the tube sizes that I went with to be able to route it the way it is 5/32. And so there's the first one, and you can see it rides in that channel, and when it gets here, it goes under the first the driver's side nozzle, and there's the two coming out, and it still fits in between that channel, so that when I bolt this down, I won't have to worry about having interference. So I'm going to put the cowl panel on the car, and I'll show you how it looks. So here's basically when the cowl panel is attached. I have here the hoses, and you can see how they nicely fit in that little spacing that the factory did for me. So because I have a shim here to align the cowl panel to the fender, I don't have any issues with it pinching once it's fully attached. And the hoses are basically going to be routed straight across through here, and I'm going to route it under the fender. Let's see if I can get the camera there. You see, I'll be running it right through here, and I'm going to go this way, and once I go that way, I will be going down under the fender, and down here is my windshield washer pump inlet and outlets. So everything's going to be totally hidden, and I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to get to work on that, and hopefully I can get it all situated, because I think that's going to be tricky to route that, but I want it all hidden, so it's got to be done. Okay, so I got it routed. I got it going in there, and it goes under behind this bolt, and then it goes down against the firewall. Let's put the camera there and see if I can show you. It goes down, camera's not going to pick it up, but it goes down on the other side of this bolt, and then let's see if I can get you a view. And let's see, I don't know if you can see the hoses. I can't see, so here's the one going to the reservoir, and then these two right here are the ones going to the windshield nozzles. So the one that's for the reservoir goes behind the fender. Let me just go back here. Goes behind the fender, comes out here, and goes into the reservoir. So it's nicely hidden. And now let's show you how it works. So I got in there, just so that I don't have problems with spotting, I got some distilled water in the tank because I don't want any water spots on the car. And you can see that the windshield had some water from when I did it, but let's give you a look. So press the windshield washer button, and there it is. So let's do a wide angle shot again. So there it is. It's working nicely. Let's show you from the outside. I got the towel there because I don't want a whole mess of water. So the water's coming out of there, you see, from behind the grill. So I'm pretty happy with this small little project. And let me close the hood, make sure that my gaps are lined up. And yep, got them lined up. So that's one side, and here's the other. So I'm very happy with that little project. It's all done, and now I don't have to remove the cowl panel anymore. And then for the windshield washer nozzles, I was going to paint them black, but it still has the previous paint job on it, on the nozzles. As you can see, it's that maroonish red color. So rather than paint it black, I decided to just leave it, because that way it hides. I mean, you can't see it. If it was black, then you would be able to see it. So I decided I'll just leave it. And then of course the other side you can't see because it's actually under the cowl. So this one I made sure that had the red on there so that I don't have to see it. So there you have it. Windshield washer squirters that became a project on its own. It should have been easy. It should have been just put the squirters on and be done with it. No, not on this Nova project. It had to be modified. And when I first initially decided on putting that windshield washer pump and motor assembly over to behind the fender, the only thing I thought about was getting that firewall nice and smooth. I didn't even think about what I was going to do with the squirters. That was the farthest from my mind. I didn't even remember about the squirters. Basically, the squirters are almost insignificant, but it is a necessity, at least for me. I like using them when my windows are dirty as I'm driving. I like to, you know, hit those squirters. So had to be done. And I didn't want hoses going in front of my firewall after all that work I put into getting it nice and smooth. So I didn't make plans, or I didn't have plans for those windshield washer squirters. I actually thought about how I was going to do it on the fly, and I'm glad that it worked out that way. So it's done, and I'm happy with the results. And now I'm looking to do the windshield wipers. And so this side is the one I polished by hand, and this side is the one I didn't polish yet. Basically it looked like this, and now it looks like this. And I'm polishing it with my metal polish cream and of course a rag, and I'm doing it by hand. And one thing I'm glad that it didn't come out looking like chrome. It has this satin sheen to it, and I think that that goes well for the Nova. So I got to do this one now, and I guess that's what I'm going to be doing for the next hour. So I hope you enjoyed my little project, and as always, thank you very much for watching.